Dollar bill origami. Here's a modular box I used to do. I kind of forgot how to do it, but I came up with some other way to do it. So I'll show you how that other way works. You need to fold it in thirds. In order to be more accurate on the thirds, I fold it in half first. I'm basically going to make a bunch of little these things. You fold this in thirds. I do that as you go half of half, which is best guess. It's not really measured, I guess. I guess you could measure it out at an inch. Fold it at an inch instead of 3 inches on that end of the bill. And fold it in thirds. What we're going for is the cameo of the president, the dead president. Now, this is where it gets tricky. If you do this step at less than a third, you can't put the box together. So I tend to try to do it greater than a third, so I've got to do the diagonals to identify where greater than the third is. It's pretty much right where the outside edge of the things are, but do it equal on both sides-ish. Again, based on the president, I guess. We don't need to do it based on the other parts. When you put the modular box together, that's going to be the outside of the box. Or not. Alright, from here, where it's tucked, you can go here just to make sure you get it right-ish. Then you go the other way, and you diagonal it. It occurred to me while I was doing this that you could just flop it over that way, which is probably how the original goes. There's a whole bunch of that throwing star type folds is how it originally went. I should probably backtrack now. But since I can't remember that version of it, it's in thirds, and you basically want a third-ish tucked in to take up the slack. Basically just make a square-ish, a little less than a square. That's what I'm doing right now. A little less than a third. This might actually be a better way to do it, but we'll see. So basically that. And in theory we can do that. There we do that. We got that. Invariably one of these is going to be bigger than the other. You should be able to tuck it inside the bigger one, inside the littler one. That's the plan anyway. If you can't quite do that, you can always fold the side in, tuck it in, and then tuck. Might need to fiddle with it to figure out which is which, and there's probably some play in it where you can loosen one up to make it fit. Apparently this alternate way of doing it. More challenging than I had planned. Especially once you get them in, they should just slide right into each other. Should. Doesn't mean will. Which is why we tucked in that extra third on the end to make them just long enough for it. Alright, this is the basic thing. Then we're going to tuck our points in. See, if you make it less than a third, then these points are going to be longer than this slot here where you're going to put it. You're going to put all the points in the slots. You got 6 of them, all made differently than this one. You're basically going to put them all inside each other. Couldn't find the actual directions for this one online again. Apparently the other ones, but I like this one because you got the cameo of the president on the outside, so they don't believe you that it took $6. You can show them all the president says, and they go, well, maybe it does. It's a doubt killer when you got 6 president's heads on the outside. It's not the only box out there, and arguably the hardest one to put together probably. Especially this last piece is always going to be a challenge. There's a hollow space in there if you want to tuck something inside the hollow space. The other ones came out. Okay. So it's not the easiest one to put together. Alright, that's the last one I made, so I'll make that the last one that goes in because I made it differently. It should be a little more together. The odd man out. It's pretty tough to put together, which is why it's probably not as popular as the other boxes and cubes out there. I guess this one's under a cube, not a box. Once it's together, you can make it squarish. Previously stated, it's hard to get together. Because it's so hard to get together, it falls apart easily. I'm going to basically do it the other way with this one. Apparently that's the better way to do it. Makes it easier to put together. That's that different, but you only got one crease on the outside versus 2. Nope. Oh, it's the smaller of the bunch. So there's a whole different way to make it. I guess that's easier to put together the other way than I made it almost a decade ago. Used to be instructions out there for it. Used to only be 3 sites. They're all like individual user sites. There wasn't this whole origami and how to make it sites that there are now. I should have thought of having to redo all these this way. I may have to get it together. Looks like this magically fits. Come on now. Alright, the last guy to tuck is one of the newer models. Oh, don't do that to me. There's a little pinch in the side thing you can do to make it work. But when it's done, it's done. You got a box, all presents heads. Ah, falling to the ground. It's a $6 bill thing. Sloppy because I can't remember how to make it, but there it is. $6, all presidents cameos. You can spin it like a top, or not. That's the dollar bill thing.